Remember the kid that dies in Rusty's Day Camp for Boy Adventurers? The one he claims to give back to their parents as a deformed goo kid? He makes a fleeting appearance in Back to Spider Skull Island. I did not know that.
Go Team Venture!
You can see him as a teen getting his book signed in the Scaramantial table for a few seconds. Holy shit, as the comment below says, maybe Rusty has kind of managed to do some science. That's really fucking competent. In Season 1, Episode 1, Brock throws one of his thugs his t-shirt, which is a reference to the Coke commercial starring Mean Joe Green.
They're good.
I did know that because I was working on a video called Everything You Missed in the Venture Bros, doing all those little references and stuff, but I never finished it. Everyone here has all these cool facts and I got nothing, except that I once jerked off 12 times in a day just to see if I could. Sure he did. With a big eyeball and says, "Look, I'm the Residents," then giggles. There's actually a post-punk electronic band called The Residents, and all the band members dress up in tuxedos, top hats, and giant eyeball masks. Their music is awesome, especially the commercial album. When I saw it, I was all like, what? That is awesome. Also, the Batcave was an actual goth club in London in 1982, and Nick Fiend did hang out there. What the fuck? 2 musical references, and one of I have no idea of, one of which is one of those is a reference to a goth club in London in the 1980s. How did the creators even know about this stuff? Colonel Gentleman mispronounces the word row, which is something an English/Scottish person would never do.
While he was gone, we'd had our rows before, but
Did he say row? A row? An argument? I don't know. Do Americans say row? Wrong? I don't know. I'm now very confused. Doc and Brock are seen eating a burger in the Invincible comic. I did know this. I've seen it many a times posted to Reddit. I wish they would show up in the cartoon. I highly doubt we'll see them. Hatred and Doc are one night playing Team Fortress 2 on the
verge of an important breakthrough?
come on, Doc! We're on the same team!
computer. Yeah, there was going to be a big reference to like Venture Bros and Team Fortress 2. There's like you can get the skins and stuff for some of the characters, but I don't know if anything ever really came from that. Ignore me! In The Flight of the Monarch, it's mentioned that there is a photo of Dr. Girlfriend skinny dipping with Jim Feeters. That's the series composer, J.G. Thrillwell, from his electronic punk days. I know he worked with Lydia Lunch at one point too. Not sure if he made out with her. Yeah, I absolutely knew this. It was mentioned in one of the comments further up. But yeah, I, through the show, have actually probably listened to almost all of J.G. Thrillwell's other work. Some of it really good. I think he also worked on some of the Archer music. One of my favourite comic book artists was a storyboard artist on the show. And this is their favourite cover by her. Let's check it out. Oh, that's amazing. Yeah. People sitting around eating donuts, getting coffee, surrounded by corpses. I could absolutely see this in that New York setting, Venture Bros, very easily. What episode is that picture from? It was Viva Los Muertos, where Hank is trying to find African America. I actually talked to Doc Hammer and stumped him with this. The Eiger Sanction, which has a huge influence on the Venture Bros, the director of mountain photography in the movie, is called Pete White. He said he didn't even realise it. What is this? I'm not sure this is a true fact. I will have to look into it. The show almost ended at Operation Prom. It would have been a travesty if the show had ended at season 4. It would have been an amazing endpoint. Operation Prom is possibly my favourite episode in the show. All that and Gargantua 2 may top it out, though. It's difficult. It's the longest running Adult Swim show ever. Yes, I did. Well, no, it's not running. But yeah, 18 years, 19 years, 20 years, I guess, depending on what you count, is the movie if it's still running. And this person has learnt a lot about the monarch butterflies, which are going extinct, and we need to save them, and I wish I could do more, but they don't live in my country. Oki sparked a great thing. Oki is feeling overwhelmed. I was overwhelmed. It's taken me like a year and a half to get around to answering this. Scarebear's backstory was meant to be revealed in It Happening One Night, where he was Wes Warhammer's previous It Girl superstar and had fallen on hard times because Wes was like Warhol, destroying these people's lives, sucking life out of them, and there was going to be a quick flashback where he was doing magazine covers and falls on hard times and Wes starts ignoring him. And he sees that Wes is doing the same to Doc too, gets jealous, and in the end of the episode he was going to stab Wes. The post-credit sequence would have been the two of them riding a motorcycle up to Woodstock to just get clean and be in love. Sadly cut for time. What? That would... the whole Scare Bear story has already short of been told, and it was just cut for time. That's crazy. I had no idea. Oh, wow. And this comment says, I've not listened to all the commentary tracks for Lunch Breaks. I probably should. It talks about the fact that they're not fans of Warhol. For the amount of references, I would have gathered they were. Brock is a descendant of Ash from the Evil Dead franchise. Yes. This is in Poker Night 2. I'm hoping this is the reference to it. Hell yeah.
Whatever happened to that nice Sheila lady you rescued from the Deadites back in the 14th century?
No idea. I tried to find out once or twice, but ancient history is not exactly my strong suit.
Perhaps I can help. Scanning. Sheila, the very pregnant daughter of Euford, married to Theodore in 1300.
Pregnant? Hey man, we only did it once. Twice tops.
1 son, 8 grandchildren, killed by the Black Plague in 1347, along with all but one of her heirs.
Aw, damn.
Direct descendants emigrate to Poland in the 15th century.
Hey, fellow Paul. Grataluce.
Remaining family escaped Nazis in mid-20th century, eventually settling in a Swedish enclave in Nebraska.
Wait a minute.
By the 1960s, the sole surviving ancestor of Theodore and Sheila, Bonnie Jablonski, briefly marries a local traveling salesman, giving birth to 2 male sons, including Brock Fitzgerald Sampson.
Ah, son of a bitch.
Hey, welcome to the family.
So, does that mean Brock has a twin brother? And also, we know who Brock's dad is. I forgot that reference. Holy shit. In the Halloween special, the blackface that Dragoon wears turns Red Mantle Dragoon into a reference to the movie, The Thing with Two Heads.
So just... what the fuck is that? Seriously.
Oh, so it's okay when you do it, but when I do it, I'm racist.
What the...
merely in the guise of the two-headed man. I'm Mr. Rosie Greer.
Well, that's kind of my fault. I told him it was a costume party because he simply refused to attend when I told him it was a magic gathering.
Yes, I find those trading card games very confusing.
Yes, I heard that is a bad 70s movie from some Googling of references to this show. I have no idea what's in your special software folder. That's true, and I hope it's not the same as what Sergeant Hatred has in his special folder. This is obvious, but when the boys died and Doc ran away, he hooked up with another woman and got her pregnant. Brock dragged Rusty away, and the woman had a child. A girl, but I can't remember how I know the gender. I think it's the woman had red hair, so the child has rose hair.
This is Sky! We're gonna have a child! Please!
I don't think there's any actual evidence of Rusty even getting this lady actually pregnant. But I would love it if there was another French child out there. Maybe a girl by the name of Dawn. Sylvia Plath suicided by sticking her head in an oven with the gas on. Yes, she is a very depressing poet. Brock has a lot of poetry references in this show. The Sylvia Plath one was lost on me for a long time. But no, it does not surprise me. Dean sort of sounds like a suicide poet.
Well,
Oh, geez, Dane, your essay reads like a suicide note.
everything I wrote was true.
Yeah, but you gotta turn the gas down a notch, Sylvia Plath. You're supposed...
Well, not explicitly stated, I found on a rewatch that it's heavily implied that Dr. Tara Quim is one of Jonas Venture Sr.'s offspring. We see that Jonas is a swinger and brags about his successful pregnancies. Tara's father is Agent Gentleman, Colonel Gentleman, otherwise homosexual. Much like our Venturion, we see the reference between Mounty and Rusty. There is resemblance between Tara and Rusty when they play together. Of course, many of the children are implied that their parents are running around. Dirty secrets he has running around. Yes. We see it with both Dr. Quim and possibly Malcolm and probably Billy Quizboy are all potential relations of Dr. Venture. But I doubt it is. This is the people believing that Jonas Venture Sr. was in fact the sovereign, but he wasn't. Oh my lord, there's a lot of discourse about this. Okay, I'm not going to read some discourse about people arguing about the Venture Bros on Reddit, even though it seems somewhat interesting. Not a fact, but in one episode, Dr. Goldfriend is crouching talking to Kevin and Timton, and you can see him for a split second look down. He later tells the other pupa twin that he saw Mama's white panties. This is literally a 2 or 3 frame gag where his eyes just dart downwards. I can't believe anyone who's not me has ever noticed that. I thought the Viceroy was some cool-sounding name that 21 made up when I first heard it, but...
I'm the Viceroy! I mimic the monarch butterfly, and I am obsessed with monarchs, so I mimic them!
It turns out the Viceroy is a politically appointed position of someone who rules on behalf of a monarch in a foreign land. Also, there's a species of butterfly who mimics the monarch called the Viceroy. So it's definitely more than just a name Gary thought sounded cool. Yeah, I can't, but I don't know. I assume butterflies were named after the royalty, and that's where that comes in. But yeah, it's such a brilliant thing. The monarch wants the butterfly theme, and then ends up with the royalty theme as well. Gary is mimicking the Viceroy, and Viceroys mimic monarchs. Gary is mimicking the monarch, and Viceroys mimic monarchs, and also is this royalty thing where Viceroys are like the second, or, you know, it's a bit complicated, they're not always the second in command, and whatnot to kings, and Gary is the monarch's second in command. It's like a brilliant name. I don't know how much of this show, the showrunners thought of this stuff when they named a character in the pilot the Monarch and dressed him up as a butterfly. Or if sometimes they just got really fucking lucky. Dean is losing his hair due to genetics. It's mentioned in a very Venture Halloween. Yeah.
Well, you got the onset of ocular degradation, but I think you look good in Buddy Holly glasses or something.
Why do you care how I turned out?
Yes, we are delivered that line by Ben or J.K. Simmons. Another great little one. One more infinity shot, and let's end that there. That was kind of fun.